Everyone.
Might want to just pull the sound down on the video.
Record. Good morning.
And I have to
Everyone.
switch
Might want to
off
just pull the
Facebook
sound down.
Okay.
There we go.
All
Yay.
right. And are we live? We are
We're
live.
live. Yeah, we're live, baby.
Very good. Good morning, everyone. And we had the echo, Tasha's voice in echo. Ooh. Good morning, Facebook family. 9 a.m. We're an hour earlier today for our day two of our 3 days free offering, a 3 days challenge, awakening the muse within you. Unleashing your inner creative genius. So welcome, Tash, to my page.
Hello, everybody.
Yay. So today we're going to engage the conversation about opening up the portal of your creativity through your heart space, creating from the heart, from the things that are turning you on, that are juicing you up, that are lighting you up, energizing you, uplifting you, the natural talents and gift that you were born with. We are all unique, and we all have different passion, interest in life. And we know them when we're little kids, but then we we camouflage them, we hide them, we put them on the side, and we get conditioned in the brain and the mind, and we start operating as a human being, a bit like a robot. And
human doing.
A human doing as opposed to a human feeling, a human alive, feeling alive, because these passions, they keep you energized and feeling alive. So today we're going to open that portal, and Tash going to lead us to a really simple yet powerful exercise today. And maybe before we dive in with Tash's exercise and what Tash, you have to say in this conversation on that topic, maybe we can check in how people went yesterday. We both want to thank you very much from the bottom of our heart for your feedback. We got some really beautiful feedback, and I'm excited that I have got people signing up to my masterclass on Thursday, which is great.
Yay!
Through our conversation, because of our conversation yesterday. And I'd love to know what landed for you, and if you had you took a moment for yourself to do the simple exercise that I offered you yesterday, the powerful exercise of the 3 questions. Number 1, what am I feeling right now? Number 2, what am I needing in this moment? And number 3, what does my heart truly desire to create right now instead of that? What does my heart want in the here and the now?
I love that.
So we'd love, thank you, Tash. We'd love your feedback on your experience of this exercise. And now let's dive in day 2.
I just love this conversation around creativity, unleashing creative genius, reinvigorating creative inspiration. And as like a real theme of what we've been speaking about today, as we mentioned yesterday, I want to really reiterate it. Like, as an entrepreneur, creativity is our lifeblood. As entrepreneurs, it's our lifeblood. It's really what drives the evolution of our soul's work. Our capacity to be creative, to channel new ideas, to write amazing content, to put out new offerings, to be dynamic, to trust ourselves. And as we spoke about yesterday, we want to be able to navigate the roller coaster of life. And like, how do we reinvigorate creativity when we might be feeling a bit overwhelmed, or a bit like, I've got so much on my to-do list, or, I've got to be constantly pumping out new things. And we spoke about that a lot yesterday. Yeah. And what we wanted to talk about today is the simple, very, very simple, it comes back to simplicity, right? As we mentioned yesterday, simplicity is the language of the heart. Beautiful. And I wanted to take you through a little process. It won't take long, maybe 5 minutes. to help you to reconnect with that which comes most naturally to you creatively, your creativity, your creative artistry, which comes most naturally to you. So if you'll indulge me, I'd love for you just to take a moment to close your eyes. And just taking in a breath. And I would love you to imagine that there's a movie screen in front of your eyes. And on that movie screen is a movie of you. And this is you as a young child, somewhere between the ages of, say, 5 and 10. Just let your intuition, your subconscious take you to whatever time, whatever age you need to go to. And I want you to imagine that you're in the house that you lived in at that age. And you are engaged in some sort of activity that you loved to do when you were a child. When you were in your play, when you were just in your heart doing what it was that made you so happy, that lit your soul alive. And there may have been multiple things that you loved to do as a child. And I want you to just let your mind show you that journey of your play when you were before the age of 10 years old. And reconnecting with that feeling. So for me, I would sit in the sun and I would write in my journals from a very young age. I have stacks of them now. And I would just be so happy doing that. Or I'd sit at the piano and play the piano, hand all of my emotion over. And can you reconnect with that feeling of being so completely immersed in the moment, doing what it was that came most naturally to you, doing what it was that you absolutely loved? And just gathering all that intel, all that information. And we're going to come back to the conversation. So when you're ready, just coming back to the body and opening up your eyes.
I love this. I love this exercise. I love doing this exercise so much. It's so much fun to remember and to see that now. Like, am I doing this? You know, I'm happy to share if you.
Yes, please share.
Thank you for guiding us in this beautiful meditation, because it's rich, you know. It's so simple.
It's
like,
so
I remember my favorite game, I had a lot of Barbies and dolls, loads, like. My mom was very compulsive. It was all or nothing. So I had a lot of dolls, lots of Barbies, and I was also very, very, very good in gathering people. Very, very good in getting people together. So I would go in the basement of the house or in the garage, and I would either call all the little kids on the street, and I must have been 5 or 6 years old. I started at 4, I think 4, 5, 6. Gather all the little kids on the street in my home, or if there was no one, having my dolls sitting in front of me, and I would dress up as my mom. Like, I would dress and put makeup and put my mom's clothes, and I was standing in front of them, and I was already an inspirational speaker. I was talking about self-confidence and self-love. Like,
I love it.
I'm 5 years old, and I was teaching and facilitating processes, and I would end with a French song. We had like gazillions of vinyls, you know, back in the days, in the 70s, like the vinyls. We had heaps, all the French music in the world. And I love singing. I always love singing, right? I do voice healing, sound healing, all of that now, and voice activation. And I would end with singing a French song. And what am I doing for a living is exactly what I was doing back then.
I love it. I love it.
Isn't it great? I mean,
yeah.
When I did this exercise for the first time, I did it for myself. Like, I channeled it for myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm doing.
Beautiful. And it's like we often overcomplicate things. So it might not necessarily be that, you know, for example, when I was a child, I used to play, like I mentioned before, I play the piano.
Oh.
And that would be my like, oh, it was my emotional alchemy, you know, at a tiny, tiny little 5 years old, you know, I'd sit at the piano and I'd learn these songs and I'd spend hours there. And so it's not as if now I want to like be a professional pianist. Like that's not necessarily a part of my soul's work, right? But for me, I've had it in my mind for so many years that I need a piano in my life, and because that is one of the core ways that I drop into my heart, you know? So it helps me to come back into my truth, back into my power, and it helps me to really be able to realign back to who I am and what I'm here to do. And so that which you used to do so naturally as a child is so connected to opening up your heart and helping you to kind of like reorient yourself back to what matters, right?
Yeah, I
And
see.
genius comes from there.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, it could be, but also the writing part, you love
The
to do.
writing part as well, of
And
course.
now you're a publisher, you know, you're a
Yeah.
successful publisher helping
Yeah.
a soulful entrepreneur to write their stories, share their
Yeah.
stories, and you love writing. It's
Yeah.
really one of your zone of genius. You're very natural at it.
Mm.
So the question to our audience is, yeah, what was your thing when you were a kid? What was your favorite game?
What did you love to do?
What did you love to do the most? You could spend hours and get lost in it, you know?
Mm. Please let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we'd love to know. We'd love to.
And then the question, are you doing that now? Are you doing it? Are you incorporating it? You know, it might be dance, you know, like moving your body on the regular. Are you putting even a song on in your living room and turning the lights off and having a, you know, no lights, no lycra dance party? Creating your own 5 rhythms journey, you know, as a core part of your self-care and your, you know, the way that you return back to the heart.
Yeah.
So often in life, in business, with the demands of living and children and business and clients, we get very much in our head and in our ego as well. And that when we're in the ego, when we're in the head, it's like that's the primary way that we creatively constipate our flow. We get creative constipation, right? Because we're not allowing the energy to flow and we're not allowing the energy to move through us, to be the vessel. We speak about this a lot. We spoke about this a lot in the last round of trainings that we did about 18 months ago, about the body is the vessel, right? The vessel for creativity. It moves through us. So any practices that you do that get you back in the seat of embodiment, we're going to talk a bit more about this tomorrow, to help you to feel the creativity moving through you. Like I often say this, you know, my partner's a professional musician, and he, like, there's a few times throughout the year where his channel is open and he's like, the songs are pouring through him, and he might be creating 6, 7 songs in a few weeks. Like it just pours through. And it's always so fascinating to me to watch when that happens. It's like the energy is crackling around him, you know, his channel is wide open, and that's what we all have that available to us.
It's beautiful. You witnessed that. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's so inspiring.
It is inspiring. Yeah. And it's inspiration, right? That's the breath, as we talked about yesterday. Inspiring is the breath of life moving through you. And yeah, there's moments where we are more available to receive it, and it comes down to our capacity to receive, available to welcome the inspiration, the creative flow,
and to generate it.
And to generate it and to manifest it in the physical reality, to make it, someone say who's a painter, you know, who's painting or drawing, you know, you can sit there with a pen and paper forever, but by, you know, the time you put it all on paper, like you're writing, you know, and my son healing, and that's why I love lives, you know, because you can't edit it. Like when I do a voice healing, a sound healing, I mean, I get my balls, I get my voice, I don't prepare, I just go in the creative flow in that moment, and there's no editing. And it's coming purely from the soul, the heart. It's just
your mind is out of the way.
the mind is the ego mind, the how it's supposed to look like, and it's not good enough. And because we're going to talk about it, the shadow side of that topic, that sometimes we stop ourselves creating. If you are in business, putting an offer out, you offer out, putting your next video out, or your piece of writing, if you're more at ease with writing, your next offering, or a creative piece, like an artistic piece that you want to, a song that you want to share, and then you stop yourself because of the ego mind, the shadow side of it, the judgment you might still have about yourself, that it's not good enough, or comparing yourself with others. Others are better than me. Who am I to do this? What do you want to say on that?
It's absolutely in the book projects that I facilitate, one of the biggest things that will often come up for my authors is usually there'll be a memory of handing in an essay and getting it back and having red writing all over it from a teacher who said that's not good enough. That's often, so experiences that happened in the past that are deeply connected to our capacity to create and to be comfortable and confident to put our creations out there into the world. And so, really being able to work our tools to recognize what is actually being activated or what is being touched within me, so often with my authors, if they're experiencing a lot of fear about handing in their chapters or about receiving back the edits from the editor, which is a big one, right? I'll sit with them and I'll say, okay, so what is this touching within you? If you don't what used the beautiful 3 questions yesterday, what am I feeling? I'm feeling embarrassed, or I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling like someone's going to judge my creation. I'm feeling like, that 15-year-old version of me who thought she did a beautiful piece of art and everybody laughed at it, that was a memory of mine. I was like, this is so great. And everyone was like, that's shit.
You're right.
It's that which, having the capacity to be able to trace those, what's happening now, back to potentially an event that happened in the past. Okay, that's where the fear of judgment about my creations kicked in. Wow, I wonder how that fear of judgment is still impacting my capacity to be dynamic in my business, my capacity to put things out there without second guessing it, my capacity to pick up the paintbrush after years and years, to sit down at the piano after years and years, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, is completely letting go of these judgments and fears. I mean, you look at them, and I mean, I've got another really powerful exercise. I'm full of them. I mean, Tash and I, we've got lots of tools under our belt. But I look at the fear, the judgment, and your mind is not the boss of you. Like fear, you're not the boss of me. Judgment, you're not the boss of me. Who's in charge? Who's in charge? My soul is in charge. My creator, my muse, my creative muse, my sacred creatrix, whatever you want to call it, my sovereign being is in charge of creating my day-to-day life. And I'm choosing inspiration as opposed to obligation fitting in. And hey, fear, you're not the boss of me. Mind, you're not the boss of me.
Back in the booster seat.
That's it. Sit in the back seat. Put your belt on. I'm in charge. I'm driving the bus.
Because often at the core of all of this fear is the wounded inner child, right? That's often what's driving. It's 10 times out of 10 most of the time. 9.9 times out of 10. It's something that happened in the past, and our wounded inner child, who's also responsible for helping us to be with reckless abandon connected to our heart and present in the moment, right? Like I look at my little ones. My son Harry is 3 today. It's his birthday, you know, and just happy birthday, Harry. I know. And looking at him when in his play, like we mentioned yesterday, like he's just in it, getting
He's
into
present in
their
his
work,
zone of genius. He's
in the
present.
zone. Yeah. And so I love those questions, and like the actually having a conversation with it, naming it, right? Okay, this is fear. Hello, fear. You're not the boss of me. I think that's really powerful, Anick.
It is. It's feeling it. It's okay. It's okay to feel. We're not our feelings, but it's again, it's our barometer. It tells us where where we're at. And like Susan, have you read the book Feel Your Fear, but Do It Anyway? That's a really that's brilliant. She died now. Susan Jeffers, an American lady who was running workshop around the world around overcoming your fears. She did some brilliant work, and she wrote a lot about love. She was a gem. She was one of my mentor, back in the days. She died from cancer, but anyway, it's a really simple and effective book. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel it. But do your painting, play your piano, put your offer out, sign up to be in the book and get your chapter out and get your next mentoring program out and your next sound healing event out. Do it anyways. That's the message.
Anyway. Yeah, I love that. And it's about giving ourselves permission to be imperfect, right? Because it's never going to be perfect.
Oh my gosh, there's so much juju in this conversation, but you said it. To give yourself permission. In French, je m'autorise. I authorize myself. I give myself permission to show up, to do the things I love, to allow my heart to sing loud and clear, that I'm enough, I'm safe, I can share my beautiful zone of genius, my creativity, my piece of heart, my offer. It's okay for me to be seen in my creative genius.
In the bigness of my creative genius.
In the bigness.
Yeah, it is. It's so powerful. And, it takes courage to really do this work, right? Like, that's why I'm always so, like, I bow to people who are continuously like moving through their stuff to take their work to the next level, to take their creations to the next level, to show up even more deeply to their clients and to their soul's mission, to their business, to show up more presently to their children, to be more vulnerable with their partner. Like it's courageous. And the more we can cultivate the energy of playful curiosity in the face of all of this stuff that lives within us, just be curious about it. We don't need to take it too seriously. We don't need to bury the hooks deep within. We can be curious about it. And I think the energy of curiosity from a creativity perspective is so important as well. If we're not curious about things, if we're not curious about life, if we're not curious about what's coming next, if we're not curious about how the light mixes with the colors if I'm sitting and doing some painting, or how these notes might work together if I'm sitting and creating a new song, like what is there if we have no curiosity? It's ignorance, right? Is the lack of curiosity, I believe.
Beautiful. Albert Einstein was praising that. Thank you, Tash. It's really beautiful, and it's a very important point. Curiosity leads to creativity, because
curiosity links to creativity. Exactly.
Yeah, because Albert Einstein was saying, be curious. Don't settle for the status quo.
Status quo.
Tongue twist for me this morning. The French Anick. And so ask questions. Ask questions. What does my heart want? What am I inspired to create today? What am I inspired to create, to share, to express? Like, being curious and asking questions would take you to your right brain, and your right brain is your creative brain.
Your intuition, as
is your
well.
intuition.
Your
It's
heart.
completely connected to the heart,
Mm-hmm.
your own sacred heart. And so
Mm-hmm.
these, I mean, this is, we give you a lot of juju here, a lot of tools, a lot of questions to ponder on and investigate, but to play with, really, to have a play with, to explore. But really, it's like going to the gym, training, developing your muscles, training muscles. It's in the habit, like tuning into your muse, into your own sacred heart, and practicing to be in your zone of genius, in your creative genius, is a muscle to train, is a habit, is in the day to day after day, in the questioning, in the practicing, that you'll embody the safety of being in your creative zone of genius, living in your heart space, living and creating from the heart.
Beautifully expressed, Anick.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's in the consistency of it, the practice of it. Like, I love that analogy, like building the muscle to have it feel safe, because it might not feel safe at first. It might feel really scary. First time I went live on Facebook, I was nearly, my legs were, shaking underneath. I was like, who's going to judge me? Who's going to watch me? But I hit live and I went live anyway. And now, 6 years later, probably hundreds of lives, it's still a little bit nerve-wracking, but it's nowhere near as nerve-wracking as it used to be.
Right.
So
Yeah.
this is a little, as we like to say, like bringing in the Frenchie. This challenge that we're running is a little amuse-bouche. A little, how do you pronounce that with the French accent? Amuse-bouche.
Amuse-bouche, amuse-gueule. In Quebec, we say amuse-gueule, and yeah, probably in
Okay.
France, they say amuse-bouche. I'm from Quebec.
A little taster.
Little taster.
A little taster, a little hors d'oeuvre of the incredible work that we're going to be doing inside our amazing Creatrix retreat taking place next month in the Blue Mountains. Amazing energy, beautiful bright lands, amazing old nunnery that we are going to be playing inside of.
The chapel, yeah.
Beautiful chapel. It's a truly gorgeous, gorgeous place.
Yeah.
And we're going to be delving into unleashing your creatrix, which is your muse, your creative, inspirational potential. We're going to be doing a lot of voice work, a lot of opening up the voice. Anick's amazing practices around voice tapping and unlocking the power of the voice. We're going to be doing lots of embodiment and lots of healing and lots of opening and activating and playing as well, playing in the space. So we're going to talk a bit more tomorrow about the importance of that, how to create from an embodied place. We invite you to send us a message if you're curious. Let us know. We can share more information with you. We're calling in the amazing women who are ready to dive deep with us.
Thank you, Tarsh. Yeah, for sure. 8 till 10 of March, a weekend, and you got a free night, 3 nights.
3 nights accommodation. Yeah, that's a really good plus. The retreat goes for 2 nights, but Brightlands have said that they're happy to throw in an extra night's accommodation.
Offering third night, which is like, $600-700. I mean, they're really, with food and everything's amazing. We're excited to play with you. We can't wait for Unleash Your Sacred Creatrix. Right, 8, 9, 10 of March, our retreat. So I just want to name here a shining light, remedial healing.
Eileen, hello, lovely Eileen.
Yeah, she said, hello, ladies. I just want to read her comments to the audience here, share it with you. Self-doubt or second-guessing your own inspiration is limiting the flow, feeling into it and getting out of the way, letting go. Thank you for your wisdom. Happy birthday, Harry, to your little man, she said. I love that. Feel it, but do it anyway. Yeah. Thanks, Eileen. And self-perceived blocks, danger, and resistance is holding us back. So limiting and false. I had to let go, heal what was in my resistance in order to move into creation. Beautiful shares, Eileen.
Yeah, like it's resistance is so big, isn't it? Like it's just, I could speak for hours on this topic. It's so like how to move through resistance, if you think like trying to put a square peg in a round hole, right? It's like, that's not fun.
No, it's
That's
like
not the good.
I'm gonna say something really blunt here. It's like sex penetration, right? I mean,
It is.
you can, you can't force things to go in. It has to be juiced up.
Has
It
to
has to,
open.
it has to be open. The portal needs to be open and welcoming. You know.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, how to open the
Talk about
portals and
about
get
the
the juicy
embodiment.
juices flowing.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
analogy of sex, but yeah,
Yeah.
resistance. For sure. Well, thanks you, Eileen, for sharing your wise
Thank you,
comments
lovely.
here, engaging with us. Because if you engage, beautiful friends, if you
Yeah.
engage with Tash and I on the Awakening the Muse challenge here for 3 days, tomorrow is our last day. We'll be at 10 a.m. and we'll be on Tarsh Ashwin Facebook page.
My Facebook page.
Yeah,
10
I'll put that in the comment here to remind everybody. 10 a.m. AEDT Australian New South Wales time on Tarsh Ashwin page. Last Awakening the Muse 3 days challenge for
Talk
you.
all about embodied artistry.
Correct. And then we will announce not tomorrow, we will come at the end of the week, Friday, to announce the winner of, because we want to give you a couple more days to engage and comment below our videos shares. So the more you engage, the more you comment, the more you share your what you get out of the video, the gold, the nuggets, the wisdom you're getting, you're receiving, and share your own wisdom, what inspires you, what you receive, what you comments, engage. So the more you engage, the more chance you have to win a 444 soul business transmission SBT session with me, which are they're gold. I've got 15 years experience. I've been mentoring, coaching, healing for 13 years in business now. Like so much to share. And get a soul business transmission. They are revolutionary.
Yay.
So engage and comment and win.
Well done. So
Only
generous,
one winner.
Anick.
One
So
winner.
generous.
It is generous. It's super
Beautiful.
generous. For sure. Come and
Thank
play.
you, everyone. Great to be here.
Yes. Thank you, Tash, for sharing.
Thank you, darling.
And have a beautiful birthday with Harry today. Beautiful day with your little boy. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Hashtag replay if you're watching replay. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Bye.
Stop the...
Need to stop at the top left.
At the left. Where is it?
The top left, it'll say stop.
Stop live stream. Okay, and stop
There we go.
recordings.